Perfect.
All right, welcome back. Black Magic TV. And this week in the house, we have Mr. Jasper Adkins from currently Wet Nights,
Howdy do.
formerly Leisure Boys.
Yep.
Thanks for coming over, Jasper.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Jasper, you're from Kansas City area originally.
Yep. Yeah.
Lee Summit?
Born in Texas, grew up Lee Summit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Went to high school there.
Yep.
Jasper knows Nico very well.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up. You guys are like the same age, right? About the same age?
Yeah. I don't know when his birthday is, but
Yeah, close to the
Yeah.
same age, I think. You guys probably went to high school together.
Yeah, we went to middle school and high school together.
Okay, so you guys are like the same age then.
Yeah. Yep. Same grade. So.
Jasper's got a new, I guess we'll call it album.
So we got a
EP?
new single coming
New
out
single coming
January
out.
1st. It's the second of 3 singles that will be leading up to a full album.
Sick.
So
And are those just gonna drop this coming year, like the singles?
yeah, so these all 3 of these were supposed to drop this last year, but the band has gone through multiple different members because people like the drummer. We recorded the first single, Mid Mod Baby, and then the drummer moved to Atlanta, like right after that.
Oh damn.
So then I had to find another drummer, show him all the songs, and then get back to recording.
Oh shit.
So, and then we
Keep talking. I'm
okay.
listening. I just wanna check everything.
All right, cool. But yeah, so we recorded Mid My Baby, got a new drummer, had to show him all the songs. Then started recording again, which is cool because he's got a studio in Denver that he like built, and it's really nice. So we kind of upgraded in sound quality as well. So this next single, Half Tank, was recorded there, and then the third single will be Wantin' Something, which will probably come out in spring. The drummer's doing all the mixing and all that, and they're just kind of coming out whenever we get done with them. But
Right.
everything just kept getting delayed, and
Yeah, it happens.
yeah. But
Yeah, so Jasper lives in Denver currently. He's lived there. How many years you lived there now?
7 years. I was here for a year during COVID. That's when I lived down the street.
Right.
For,
You came back for a year.
Mm-hmm. And then moved back. But actually, so I had to get shoulder surgery. Long story short, gonna be moving to upstate New York after this all heals up.
Okay.
Because my girlfriend's from Oswego, New York.
Okay.
Not really sure where. We got a few months to like figure it out, but that's kind of the next
Next
game
adventure
plan.
from here. Did
Out
she come back
east.
with you, or is she in Denver still?
She's in New York right now.
Okay.
Staying at her parents, because her parents, everything kind of like fell apart in Denver, like job wise, like just rent, everything just
Yeah,
fucking
got crazy.
crazy. So we were like, okay, I gotta get my shoulder fixed. So I couldn't. There's no way to like pay rent or anything. And her parents were gonna be gone on a trip for like 4 months. They're
Right.
like on a RV or camper.
Oh, sick. They're driving across the country, living in a camper.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's like, sweet, I can stay at my parents. And then I'm just staying at my parents while I'm recovering for this, and just kind of going from there, and just winging it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
dude. I get it.
But
it happens. Denver is a rough place to be right now, and it has been.
yeah.
Essentially, since they legalized marijuana,
Mhm.
it seems like it went crazy there.
Yeah.
And I think even more so, like it's sort of happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if it has much to do with the weed thing, or it's just. I think every metropolitan is probably getting more expensive now.
Yeah.
But even out in the country, it's expensive, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's just expensive.
Just everything.
It's
Yeah.
just expensive now.
But yeah, I want to have a garage. There's no way to have a garage in Denver, like, and like, I want to have my own space to do stuff, no space to
Yeah, no,
be able to do
Denver is
anything.
so many. We've seen so many go.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
went for the Great Green Rush, and they've all returned now
Uh-huh.
back to Kansas City.
Yeah. Well, I lived with
Sam,
Sam
right?
and
Yeah.
Eric and Joe. They moved back. Like, it's crazy. When I first moved out there, I was paying. This was 7 years ago. Paying $375 a month for a room. When I just left, uh, my girlfriend and I were paying 1,200 each for a condo.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So
That's more than what I pay for this house.
yeah, it's fucking insane.
That's
So,
crazy.
but I mean, I made a lot of great connections. Got a lot of really good homies out there still, and like the band out there is still like we're actually doing a show on 420 out there, so it's like still gonna be able to just fly out there, play a show.
Right, because we were talking about that. You sort of formulated, you are wet nights.
Right, and it wasn't supposed to be that way at first. It's just like
It's just grown into that.
yeah, I feel like I've been trying not to do like the whole like going solo thing,
Right.
like I don't know. I always loved the idea of having a band, but yeah, it's really hard when everyone works full time. You don't make any money. It's hard to convince people to like stick with you when like, I don't know, like it just takes a lot of time to practice, record all that, and like you're like, hey, like play my songs and like or something. I don't know. So
Yeah, no, it's hard to get. It's same thing with what I'm doing, right, dude? It's hard to get, and I was just talking about this with Nico. It's hard to get anyone on board to work for free to see your vision
mhm.
unless they're like also a part of it. So him and I have always we've always been working towards these weird goals together, and then now it's just like, okay, well, just like I was telling you about the car show, like, okay, we've realized no more. We've learned our last lesson of we're gonna let someone from the outside come in because they don't. Why they're doing it might be different than why you're doing it. It might just be for money. It might when I put on a car show, dude. It's for the people. It's for the scene.
Mhm.
When I do any event, I'm not doing it
Yeah.
to make any money. If I put on a rock and roll show, it's because I think we need that. I
Yeah.
think we need a cool car show for everyone to get together and have a stress-free time and hang
Mhm.
out.
And
We
just
don't
look at art.
right, and make it about that instead of making it about, well, how much money can I make off of this thing?
Yeah.
Because that's never. I've tried doing that and it's never fared me well, and I've always been.
Yeah.
You just leave disappointed at the end.
Yeah. I mean, that's like with anyone who thinks they're gonna do music for the money is uh, just misinformed or something. But yeah, it's like
But you can, but
I mean,
it takes
yeah,
years, it takes dedication, and it takes hard work.
yeah,
You know what I
or
mean?
yeah, or just like you gotta
Or
if
dumb luck. But
dumb
if you
dumb
hit the
luck.
dumb luck, we know how that goes.
Yeah,
It's just like going viral. You go up,
yeah,
and then you come crashing right back down,
yeah.
and then that's it. Or
Uh-huh.
you can do this.
Mm.
And it's like a dude told me, he's like, okay, you could keep selling drugs, right?
Yeah.
And you can make this quick cash, or you could go get a job, and every week you got a coffee pot that's getting a little fuller and a little fuller and a little fuller. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll go with the coffee. Eventually,
Yeah.
you decide to go with the coffee pot. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta fuck around and find out though first.
Right. And now you got a thing to where you can do that, right? You can write songs, you can record them, you can do all the shit. And then, especially now, you could do all that. Those guys in Denver can still be your
Mhm.
recording band because of the way the world is.
Yeah.
You can write a song. You could
Yeah.
with some of the things I was showing you in the other room, some of the programs and the apps. You guys could all be on a camera at your house
Yeah. No, it's
playing songs together. You can sync it up to where that works.
yeah, and it's funny because there's always with technology, you can always fight it or like use it to your advantage, and it's like I don't. You can hate social media for all the bad things, or you can be like, oh yeah, this is a great way to build like my own following that it's really people that actually do like the stuff, even though it might not be a big following or something, but you can. And then with being able to communicate easily, send recordings like at the click of a button to someone, be like, "Hey, record a bass line over this."
Right.
Like, it's like you can really use that, or like for a while, like that's the thing with like the idea of like, oh no, it's got to be a band thing, and it's sometimes you just kind of got to let go of an idea and just be like, all right, it's just whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, you
Like,
just work with whatever you have, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
whatever you got, make it happen, and that's
mm-hmm.
when you come up with something
Yeah,
artistic and different and
mm-hmm.
like something new. Like if you're just doing this, if it's like, okay, we need all five of us in a room, we need to live record this. It's like, yes, that sounds awesome, but
Not practical.
it's not very practical anymore if you don't live in the same place. But also, like, are you doing anything new?
Yeah.
What new ideas are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah.
the new idea you got?
Yeah.
You could do it the old standard way, and then what are you going to do? Eventually, you sound like whatever city you live in, whatever's playing on rock radio. You end up just sounding like I've seen so many bands go from being like super heavy
Mm-hmm.
to sounding like radio rock from 98.9.
Yeah.
Not to say it's a bad thing, but it's like what happened to you started out being this thing, and instead of sticking with it, you were like, oh, take a slight hard left right here, and we're going to go into sound just like everything that's on the radio, you know?
Yeah. That's yeah.
I like that, like, with, me, dude. Like, I'm not a big, like, mainstream music wise. Like, I like bands that are pretty mainstream, but they became that way over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like some weird thing with like punk rock's becoming very popular again, where it wasn't
Yeah.
before. But also, punk rock isn't what it used to be. It's like
No.
you didn't used to have to be a far leftist to like punk rock. Like that wasn't a part of it. It was
I
like
know.
absolutely the opposite. No government.
What an
was the thing.
oxymoron that
Dude,
is.
right? Like,
yeah.
it's crazy, man. The way politics clouds everything. It's wild. Like I'm living the weirdest time, Jasper, where I'm watching
Aren't we all?
people tell me that they're not about racism as all they do is talk about race.
Mm-hmm.
People screaming that they're anti-fascist while they're engaging in the acts of fascism.
Mm-hmm.
I got people, dude, if you would have told me in my life I would watch as people drove around in German-made cars, right?
Yeah.
These are people of color,
I think I know where
people
you're going with
of
this.
like the LGBTQ community, right?
Uh-huh.
Screaming anti-Semitic rhetoric out of the windows of Mercedes Benzes and BMWs,
Yeah.
and then going, "What do you mean that's a problem?" And I'm going, "Fuck, dude, you guys are turning into Nazis, dude.
Yeah.
Like you don't even realize that's like the
Well,
new
that's
face."
how Nazis happen.
Yeah.
All the German people were like they didn't like
They didn't
a
know.
lot of blindsidedness, and also it's like scared of when you become scared to speak your mind. That's the scariest.
Oh, I have a
like-
bit of that, and I'm trying to grow out of it, right? Because
Same.
I've had a bit of
Same.
it, and it's like I don't care. Like I can like I can support Jewish people, but not support like I can also support not killing anybody. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I'm watching is like it's this weird thing where people are like glorified for being gangsters and shit. It's like, yo, what are we doing, man?
Yeah.
Like these people are all killers and murderers, and it's like it's interesting, but now it went from a lot of them talking about like you'd see these guys and they talk about how fucked up it was and how wrong it was, and now it's not like that, and it's like, what is going on, man? Because there's nothing cool about it, dude. I lived it, and there's nothing cool about it. Like I didn't kill anybody, but like
yeah.
I was living that life, and there's nothing cool about it.
Mhm.
It's not tight. All you're doing is hurting people at the end of the day.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel good to do that. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's just ass backwards times, dude.
I know. It's a trip. I mean, and I've definitely, it's hard because like I've definitely caught myself like I don't know, saying things you don't mean or like you just didn't think through all the way, and you're like, oh wait, yeah, that was fucking stupid. But it's nice to be able to like. I think the best thing is like to be able to be like, oh wait, yeah, like a year ago, you might have been like on the left, and then like the next year, I think it's good to be able to be like, oh no, dude, last year I was completely wrong about that. Like,
Right,
I think it's
right,
like,
right, right.
and I think it's important to be able to do that,
It's
and people aren't like allowing anyone to like be dumb or something, like, or just to,
yeah, they expect
you know,
everyone to like. It's like everybody has to stand on whatever they said, whatever time in their life. It's like, well,
yeah,
no, like this is just the first time where like we're seeing people whose entire lives have been fucking recorded
yeah,
by
yeah,
themselves, like historically logged,
like this,
like this, right?
yeah,
But there's people that have like since birth, right? Like my
Mhm.
kids' generation.
yeah,
You know,
oh yeah,
they've it's social media from the beginning, you know? And
yeah,
like it's just wild and it's like, yeah, dude, like I know a lot of people that used to do a lot of things they don't do anymore.
mm-hmm,
And like
yeah,
it
yeah,
I struggle with certain things cuz it's like sometimes it's like fuck man, like people used to like I used to be scary. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? And not that I want to be scary, but like
yeah,
there's times in my life where I like have to go, well, shit, do you know the fuck you and you can't do that, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But it's like, dude, like there's people I know that like try to push me. And it's like, do you forget, man? Like don't forget. Never
yeah.
forget. It's like 9/11. Never forget cuz I will
I'll fuck
I'll
you up.
fucking fist fight you if I have to. I might not win, but damn it, I'll try.
Yeah.
But I'm not even about that shit anymore, dude.
No.
Like I lived a whole life of violence, man, and it's just nothing good came out of it. It's just
No.
not tight. There's no reason for it. And I'm watching. It's like all these people are cosplaying as revolutionaries and whatever the fuck idea they think they have. Like they're talking about like it makes absolutely no sense what's going on in our country, dude. It's like
No, I
wild.
know.
Like
But and then we could take it and be like, holy shit, like how fucking cool is it that we're like, I mean, not cool, but it's like we are living in a historical, like, in for whatever it, like, good, bad, whatever. If anything, we're living in a really fucking interesting time, and it's like,
oh, it is very
like,
interesting.
I feel like when we're older, we're gonna be like, holy shit, I can't.
Well, it's a time where like the entire old way of living is gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Everything's changed.
Like you can't say sir and ma'am anymore, dude. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
thinking about that the other day. Like,
Yeah.
why don't I make my kid call me sir? Because I used to have
Yeah.
to do that when I was a kid. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's because if she went out into the world and said thank you, ma'am, some fucking lady with an alien hairdo that's green, hey, he's got green hair and like bangs that are like, you know, looking like a South African haircut in
Yeah.
America. You know, looking like De Antwoord, the lady from De
Yeah.
Antwoord. And they're always like got turquoise colored hair. And you say, "Oh, thank you, ma'am." She would like flip. What I'm supposed to let this lady flip out on my kid? Like, you can't teach your kids like. Well, our perception of respect and manners is like that's just out the window.
Yeah. 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 It's weird, and it's like, yeah, respect now is more like they see it as just aligning with all their like all of someone.
Yeah, they
see
don't.
it,
People
so
don't
then-
understand that the respect is that like, hey, we can think differently.
And be friends and family. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, family, friends is one that like, dude, I got friends that are QAnon conspiracy theorists.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got friends that are like, I got friends that are like as far right as they come. I got friends that are, yeah, I got friends from everywhere. I know people that could care less. I
Yeah.
know people from all over the country, you know,
Mhm.
and but it's like. That's what I love about car shows. And I've said this
Yeah.
a thousand times. Is that like when it comes to cars, like once you get there,
It's about the cars.
nobody gives a fuck about any of that, and
Uh-huh.
it's not something that's talked about. And if somebody brings it up, you're like, you know, hey Steve, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up, man. Like
Yeah.
nobody cares right now,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like we're at a car show.
Mhm.
I don't want to hear about the
Yeah.
president. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care, bro. Like
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. They're like, "How can you not care?" I'm like, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even think I can vote for president right now. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm not allowed to. Like,
Yeah.
it's so like why bother myself?
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, during COVID, everybody got fucking wrapped into all that shit. There was nothing else to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I was
Go-
here and I was just cruising. I was just like get my work done that I was not working for anyone else. I was like doing my own thing at the time. And I'd get whatever I had to get done, and then I would just like jump in my van and go cruise, dude. That's what I did. I'd go to those cruise nights off Nolan Road, and like
Oh yeah.
I just in my Chevy just cruising the city. And it was awesome
Mhm.
because it was like the perfect time to drive an old car because there's literally fucking no one anywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody was going out.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went, people were terrified.
Yeah.
And then I'm just sitting there like, okay. And I never wore a mask,
Yeah. No.
like except for like a bandana when I
Yeah.
went inside somewhere. And it was just like, I don't know, like, you know,
Yeah.
people got all weird at me because I never got the vaccine, but like my literal cardiologist told me not to, so I'm like, okay, I won't get it
Yeah.
then, dude.
I definitely wish I didn't. But
Yeah.
dude, the only fucking maybe I shouldn't. A bar in Lawrence. The only way that I was able to play a show there was if all the band members had vaccines. And I was just like, all right, fuck, whatever. I don't want to not play a show, so I got the vaccine. But I'm just like, I wish I would have just fucking faked it, because that's some bullshit.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, man. Like that's what my doctor told me. He's like, dude, this is not. I have no idea what's going on. And he's like, you had a heart attack, and like now all these people are having weird heart things happen. He's like,
Yeah,
let's not. We're gonna hold off. And I said, okay,
yeah,
I'll hold off. I
yeah,
don't, because I was asking. I asked, you know, like they said, ask your medical professional.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, all
Wild.
that.
I'm glad the war, the Great War, dude.
Yeah, yeah. It's a weird war. It's not like it's like a spiritual warfare. It's not like all no one's like actually everyone's just fighting on like an ideal all
Yeah,
whatever.
we are in like it's like yes, that's a perfect way to put
Yeah.
We went from the war on drugs
Yeah.
to now we're in like this like fucking
Ideological.
ideologue war.
Yeah.
It's like where people are like all ideologues, dude.
Yeah.
Like I got kicked out of a place, a local coffee shop. I'm banned from there.
Oh, wow.
And the exact words from the owner were like, if you don't believe exactly what we believe, you're no longer welcome here. And he's like, that goes for everyone. If you
Weird.
don't transcribe to our like idea of like what is right and wrong and like what is appropriate in the world, like you don't belong here. It's like, whoa.
I don't want to be here.
It's like, yeah, dude, I'm cool then, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you telling me how to think. I have a free mind. Like,
Yeah.
I know how to like look at things from all angles and then decide my own opinion about
Mhm.
them, you know?
Yeah, and you should be allowed that.
And
Yeah.
you can also like that can change every day.
Yeah, yeah, and it should.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like people. I don't know. Everyone thinks they know stuff, but really no one fucking knows anything. Like
No.
I don't know. Like, yeah, everything can be warped and manipulated, and
My least favorite thing is that they've ruined the fun in conspiracy theories, and that's just not.
I have fun with it.
Well,
but-
I do too, but they used to be fun.
Yeah,
And now
it's
they've
too
like
serious.
they've become like
Yeah.
a weapon of the political parties.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I can name so many people in that are congressmen and senators that I finally realized like, oh, these people just want to be celebrities. They don't even care about their job because when I was a kid, didn't nobody know who the fucking senator of Texas was. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? But now I know all these people. Just and not because I want to, it's just because I thought there was a time a few years ago I was like, I gotta watch the news every day. I gotta watch news, and I like try to find all different kinds of news to watch, and it's like Jesus Christ, these people are all idiots.
Yeah.
Like, we got literal morons running our country.
I know. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
There's like zero intelligence going on in the world,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the fuck happened, man? Like, has America always been this dumb? And I guess so.
And maybe that maybe like social media, like maybe it's just all social media. It's like changed all that. Like there's always been politicians that have probably been in it for like the fame and glory, and then there's probably always been politicians that really do care, and then there's somewhere in the mix. I feel like social media maybe now like it's like it's attracted more people that are even drawn towards the fame. Like almost like there's like I feel like I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like attracted more of
I
that
think it's probably
kind.
the ones we don't even know who they
Yeah.
are probably the ones who are actually trying to do good things for people.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's typically like typically how it goes.
I always tell people when they start in on me about some shit going on in the world, or even like you're gonna go protest Palestine. I watch white ladies dressed in hijabs down on 6th Street at the Art Walk. Like, what are you cosplaying as a Muslim now? Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, that
Like,
shit's insane.
you got mad at people for wearing Mexican face on Halloween, and you're down here dressing like you're from the Middle East all of a sudden. Like, what the how disrespectful are you, dude? Like,
Yeah.
but it's just like if when people start in, I go, hey, what's your neighbor's name?
Right? Dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
when's the last time you went to the food kitchen and like, when's the last time you went down to the City Union Mission and cooked up stew for homeless people?
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time, like, dude, my old neighborhood, we had all these homeless people. We had like an encampment across the street. I gave them all this old lumber. I was constantly bringing them shit. Like, it was twofold. Like, yes, it's the right thing to do is help out people in need, but also like, yo, I know that these people will take when people are at their worst, they will do the worst, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, I'll tell you who they're not going to do the worst to is the guy that brings them peanut butter and bread and food and water and all this shit. And I have plenty. So here's some for you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And people should just be doing that anyways, man. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. It's like, yeah, I feel like our sense of like actual community, like our community is changed. Now it's like your online community matters more. Like, well, to some people it matters more than like their actual neighbors, and it's like, or like, uh, it's like neighbors, like a neighborhood used to be. It's like, oh yeah, there's some Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, all that, and then
you
you
might
might
have a
hang
commie
out,
in the mix. You might have a guy who was just totally didn't give a shit about any of it.
and
You
then you
got
have a
Steve the
block.
Satan worshiper. Like,
Yeah, and then you have a block party.
yeah, and everybody hangs out. And
Everyone
has fun.
hangs out. Yeah, and then but now it's like people are like, oh, I only want to live in a town. Like people like will move to a place because it's like, oh, it's a liberal. Everyone or it's like I want to live in Texas because it's Republican and it's like so everyone's kind of like everyone's like dividing like purposely. And
Oh,
it's like
it's segregating.
segregating.
I was
yeah.
watching a thing about how colleges are segregating, and they have like black only dorms, and
What?
they have like
What?
people of like no whites allowed in certain
Is this
areas.
at
and
Harvard
it's,
or
like,
something?
all over. It's like every university has things like this, and they were asking like, "Well, these students have the right," and they're like, "Well, don't you see the idea is like you're supposed to be around people who."
And then
If you're only surround yourself, like even now, like why the fuck would I don't hang out with people that are exactly like me.
mm-hmm.
I don't want someone that thinks the same way as me. I don't want someone that's into all the same things as me. Because how would I ever find out about anything new?
Mm-hmm.
How would I ever have my ideas challenged if I surround myself in a bubble of people that are like-minded?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, you need like-minded individuals about certain things, but like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, you get 27 people in the same room who all think the same way about politics, all think the same way about every issue. You know what I mean? That's scary.
That's
you're struggling into a danger zone of like not good things could come of this.
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's no different than like all these groups like we saw like the Proud Boys and all this shit, and then like that's dude. Do you know how that started? It was a joke on the Legion of Skanks, and it was Gavin McInnes.
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to be like it was him playing a character. He's like, I'm a proud boy, and it was like a whole
just
joke.
got way out of
and
hand.
it just got way out of hand, and it turned into this thing. And then after all this shit, you realize like, oh, all of these people, the Antifa people, all the people in like fucking the Proud Boys. They're all government informants. Dude, and like also, if you're gonna go out here and play revolutionary, quit being a pussy and covering your face up. Like, go out there, stand on business. Like, that's the only thing I respect about the gang culture. These people go out there, face out, no fucks given. If you're gonna go out here and
Yeah.
like play revolutionary war with each other, you're gonna go play civil war because that's what these people have been doing for years. The last few years, they've been cosplaying civil war. We're gonna protest. We're gonna counter protest. We're gonna beat the hell out of each other. Okay, well, take
Yeah.
off the mask so we can all see who you are, so we know who the idiots are in our society. Because that's who you
Yeah.
guys are. You're stupid. If you
Yeah.
gotta go beat the hell out of each other, like use your words, like use your mouth, and have an
Yeah.
open mind, and maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, it'd be nice to, yeah. I think, I mean, well, it's crazy too. I mean, with that whole, I mean, with the, covering your face, then you could get into crazy conspiracies with like, like the like CIA implants.
Yeah,
where
who's-
it's like
yeah.
they go in and they start the shit. Like they're like, all right, here's a, like,
But that's not
yeah,
untrue. That's
yeah.
the fucked up thing. Is it's not an
Yeah.
untrue thing. It does happen.
yeah. So it's like,
Like,
yeah, it's,
and
yeah,
it's not like
shit,
some
yeah.
CIA agent, but there's
Yeah.
some CIA agent who's like, "Oh, you're my informant now. Oh, you got to get these guys
Yeah,
to do this.
something,
Oh,
yeah.
you got." It's like that thing where they were gonna kidnap that governor up in Michigan or wherever that was, and then at the end of it all, they realized they arrested 13 people or 15 people, and like all but 2 of them were working for some alphabet agency as an informant. And it's like, well,
Oh.
okay, so would these 3 people have even done any of
Right,
this
they,
if
like-
it wasn't like they set up Middle Eastern people
like
like that all the
entrapment
time
or
where they're
whatever.
they
Yeah.
they basically take someone who wasn't even radicalized, they radicalize them, and then they get them to like blow up a fake bomb. They're like, oh, hit the button, and when they hit the button, they come in and they arrest them. It's like, well, this guy was just some kid before you manipulated his mind. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it's wild. I've been listening. I read most of it. There's that book Chaos by Tom O'Neill. It's about Charles Manson.
Dude,
But it
yeah.
popped up on the audiobooks on Spotify.
Dude.
So I've been listening to it now, and it's like, man, this is so wild what they were
Yeah.
like when you get into it. It's really wild.
I have that. I saw that. I love that they put some books on free. I was just listening to that. Shit, what's that? Oh, like the mushroom one about.
The one about how the stoned ape theory or whatever. about
Yeah.
how yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. I'm glad they added that to because I've always paid for Spotify for years now because
Mhm.
I listen to so much on there
Yeah.
while I'm working.
Yeah.
And I was really stoked when they put the books on there because I've been coming. I really like listening to. I listen to a lot of podcasts and then I listen to a lot of music, but sometimes I want something different. And it's like, okay, I don't always have time to read a book, but I like that I can get on there and it's like, okay, this chapter is 2 hours long. And so
Mhm.
for 2 hours out of my day, I can listen. Like I could spend an 8-hour day and listen to a whole book. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
retain the knowledge fairly well
Yeah.
because I work by it's just me. Like
yeah. No, it's,
earbuds in. So I'll put a sign up outside the door that says "fuck off." Like I'm
Yeah.
engaging in work right now. Leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, that's like whenever. Well, yeah, because for money, I do woodworking.
Right.
And yeah, like when I'm doing just sanding all day or something monotonous, like I'm just listening to audiobooks or podcasts or something. But it's it makes that time fly, and I feel like I can like I don't even like when you're doing something like that, you can like oddly focus more. But
Right.
like who knows? Maybe it's like not even that good, but on that simple stuff, you're just like
Oh yeah, dude. When I'm like like I've been there's like different vibes, right? Like if I'm like I put it I take the earbuds out and put the speaker on
Mhm.
when I'm like if I really gotta hustle and like beat the shit out of some metal and I'm like forming metal and like making something, I like to have the music blasting to drone that lets everybody else around me know like fuck off like and I
Mhm.
usually listen to rap music. Like I put on like a Memphis rap playlist that I have and
what's
I just like
what's Memphis rap?
oh dude 3-6 Mafia,
Oh, okay.
Key Glock, Young Doll.
Oh, for some reason I thought 3-6 was from Atlanta. But
No dude, they're from
okay.
Memphis.
Okay, I don't know a whole
Great.
lot about.
Oh dude, I'll
But
we can go deep on Memphis rap. I love,
yeah,
dude. I'm huge like gangster rap. Like I already have no qualms about it. I don't want to listen to no fucking hip hop. I don't want to listen to Mac Miller. I don't want to listen to Eminem. I don't want to listen to none of that shit. I want to listen to like
you don't like Nelly?
I I do not like Nelly, dude. I like gutter ass. I like No Limit Soldiers music from the '90s. I like 3-6. I like shit like that. I like gangster rap.
What about Do you like Outkast?
I yes and no. I like some Outcasts, but for like everyone being like, "Oh my god, he's like playing with owls," and the other guy's a flutist now. It's like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, probably.
yeah.
These dudes have been fucking weird the whole time. Where you guys been?
Yeah.
That Dungeon Family record, I think, is badass, and that's like all of the people from that area. Like that's all their homies in like one big super group.
Yeah, I was.
And they had like a song that went big back in the day. It was like how Eminem had D12. It was like the southern version of D12.
Well, yeah, and they were like all recording songs at the same house or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they had like a big place that they were doing. That's all
Yeah.
Atlanta shit.
yeah. I mean, that's I feel like I only know like really basic hip hop rap shit. I don't know. Other than I guess the most gangster or whatever would be like Big L or Easy. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I like all that shit. I mean, dude, there's even like in Kansas City, there's Rich the Factor. And that
Rich the
dude's been,
Factor.
yeah, he has like 70 something albums. He's been rapping forever, dude.
Damn.
He's older than me.
That's
But I mean,
commitment.
that dude, he used to put out these sick mixtapes on the streets called From Peach Cobbler to Mobsters. And they were awesome, dude. They're just it's good. Like he's not the best, but it's good shit, and it's like done by themselves. And there's so much good. I don't call it hip hop. I call it rap music because there's a difference to me. Like hip hop is like Ill Bill. Like there's a little bit that I fuck with that would follow into like the the hip hop genre because that's what they call themselves. But it's usually like
Yeah.
underground, like it's just like horrorcore rap or something like that. But
Yeah. Well, probably back then too, like how, when like Rolling Stones first started, they were considered rhythm and blues.
oh,
It's
don't
like
even get me started.
R&B is a whole different thing.
Dude.
Like,
It's you used to walk into the record store. There was like there was rhythm and blues. There was like world music, classical, pop rock,
yeah.
country western, jazz.
Yeah.
Now, dude, you go to some of these record stores, dog, and it's grindcore, metalcore, garage rock, psych
Dadcore.
rock, death metal. And it's like, dude, just put it all in fucking alphabetical order and let me go, bro. Like I
Yeah.
don't need. That's what I love about Sister Ann's. Like Frank keeps it. That's my
Sister
shit,
Ann's
dude.
is dope.
That's the spot, dude.
Yeah.
That's the spot in town.
Yeah.
The only spot. Fuck Mills. I'll say it on record. Fuck Mills Records. They went crazy. They
They
bombard you in there. They don't want you to
Oh.
look at any records. Like
What?
you got to have a mask on. All this wild
Oh.
shit still, dude. And it's like, yo, I don't even fucking. Why are you? It's a record store, dude. Like of all places. Like this is supposed to be a freedom zone.
Yeah.
Like you're selling like. It's like nah. I went in there once and it was just like. I put up with it, and then after having somebody follow you around and be like, "Oh," it's like, "No, I'm
I didn't
cool.
know. I haven't been there in a
I'm
minute.
cool on that." Josie, that's a chain store. People don't realize it. Josie
Yeah.
Records is a chain. Their selection is garbage. It's trash. If you like rock and roll, if you like hip hop, don't fucking go there. It's again, it's a chain store.
Yeah.
It's like CD Warehouse. Like back in the day,
Yeah.
CD Warehouse, it was cool,
Mhm.
and it wasn't, but it was also a chain. So they like it was what it was. But like Josie's a chain, and people, I didn't even realize it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a local store. The way
I thought
it
it's
looks
local, too.
and the way it operates, nah, it's a fucking chain, dude. It's a
Wow.
franchise.
Huh.
So it's like a corporate. It's a corporate store.
Okay. Well, that yeah, because I was
Records
I
with-
liked
if you
that
wanna,
place, but
like-
I didn't know that.
Records with Merit is tight.
Yeah. Records with Mary
That
is
place
dope.
rules, and they only sell new records. I love going there because I'll go there after record store day, and I buy old record store day records on the when they put
Yeah.
them on discount. That's my shit. Love Garden in Lawrence, always
Love
been
Garden's
legit.
awesome. Yeah.
Love Garden, they've gotten a little crazy with their categories, but they usually got good records. But you can't fuck. There ain't nobody in town that can fuck with the selection at Sister Anne's Records, dude.
Yeah.
Like the shit that's in those bins, their normal bin for the rock looks like every other record store's rarities bin.
Yeah.
And that's the norm. That's just their rock section.
Yeah. I remember I went in there to like kill time and get coffee, and it was like hard. Like it was so hard not to buy so many records.
How long ago were you there? Have you been there since you've been back?
This was a few months ago. I feel
Okay, so now they've expanded.
Oh, really?
The next storefront over, they've taken all that over.
Whoa.
They have more records, more
Wow.
seating. They have a bakery now, so they have baked goods all the time.
How long ago did that happen?
Like in the last month and
Whoa,
a half.
okay, I'm definitely gonna go there.
Yeah, you gotta go, dude.
Sick.
Yo, Jim and Frank, shout out. They fucking rule. I've known
Tight.
Jim forever.
Hell
I've
yeah.
become really good friends with Frank. Frank, actually, I should have fucking had it on the show. I'll have it on here next time. Frank gave me this I'm a huge Bob Seger mark. He gave me this Bob Seger mug that I don't know what it is. It has two different tours on it. One's from the 80s and one's from like 94 or 95.
Mhm.
And it's like, it must be something that somebody that worked on those tours got from someone. You know what I
Sick.
mean?
Yeah.
But it's sick, dude. And it's like, fuck, man. Today, Mindy brought me my birthday present from last month because she moved out of town. But it's a Bob Seger tour shirt from '83.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Uh,
I'm sure that's a pretty penny.
I guess I don't know how much she paid for it. She would never tell me. But
Well, no,
it's
just
sick.
dude, those old
because
tour
it's like
shirts are
brand
so
new. It's like it's
expensive.
never been worn. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's sick.
Yeah.
But that's the year I was born, was '83. So it's cool to have that.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw his last tour. It was fucking amazing.
You
that
did?
dude rules. Oh yeah, it was
Wow.
at Sprint Center. Her and I went.
Epic.
It was epic, dude.
Yeah.
It was, and the sax player was still alive for that. It was
Damn.
before Aldo died.
That's crazy.
So we got to see the full, like, turn the page with the fucking. That
Yeah.
dude was working it still, dude. He was all line bearded out and shit. He ruled, dude. He rules. Bob Seger rules.
Dude.
And even
yeah.
that, like, I got this weird record that I really didn't even know existed. It's called Brave New World, and I had never heard of it before. And it was in between the Bob Seger system and the Silver Bullet Band. He contractually had a record to
Does
make.
that have the 2 + 2 = 5?
No, that's Bob
Okay.
Seger system. That's the
Okay.
last Bob.
Well, because isn't that that's like about Brave New World, right? The
It's
book.
after that.
Or okay.
This record is after that, and it's just Bob Seger and his acoustic guitar.
Oh, whoa.
It's fucking good
Damn.
as shit, dude. And like,
Dope.
you've never heard any of that. I never heard any of this. It was sealed, and I was at Sister Anne's. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? And it was expensive, dude.
Yeah.
It was
fucking
like-
bet.
It was $100,
Whoa.
but it was never opened.
Damn. That's.
And I was like, and I have never seen it.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just like, I had some store credit. I was like, okay, I'm getting this.
yeah.
And they're like, Frank's always asking me, are you sure? Are you sure you want it? I feel bad. And I'm like, don't feel bad, dude. I want this.
That's when
Out
you
of
know
all
it's a
things,
good guy.
yeah, dude. I wanted that Macho Man record that came out,
Uh-huh.
and they released that. He made a rap album, the Macho Man Randy Savage, back in the day. He made a rap gangster rap album.
What?
The pro wrestler, yeah. It's called Be a Man. It's like basically a diss record towards Hulk Hogan.
Oh my god.
And on Record Store Day, they released it, but they only made like 3,000 of them.
Uh-huh.
They sold out, and they were selling for like $600. They came out with another Record Store Day release after that, and it was like, what the fuck? Then they released it regular now, and so it was like $45 or whatever. But that's just how much new records are going to cost.
Yeah.
That's just it. Because that's something that's off the new pricing scale, you know?
Yeah.
And I was at the record store. I was like, fuck, man. And me and Frank have been talking about that record. I'm like, I wish I could have got that fucking record still. Because it was like purple and black colored vinyl. It was sick.
That sounds.
But I just
didn't
wanted
even
it to listen to. And then he's like, I fucking got it. He's like, now in 2 months, this is going to be on sale everywhere else in town. I was like, I don't go everywhere else in town. Just give. And then through the end of it, he's like, well, that was kind of my copy. I'm like, well, why didn't you say that? You could have ordered me another one. He's like, it's fine. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to listen to it, let me know. I'll bring it back over. But, dude, I love Sister Anne's. Frank rules. They always do me right. we've engaged in some trade deals and shit. And
Nice.
I actually scored I went and picked up 150, about 120 punk rock, new wave, hardcore, grunge tapes from the late 70s all the way to the mid 90s, all original. And I was primo, all the specials records were in there, all this shit. And I'm not a tape guy, but I took it to the record store and made a deal with Frank on them. I was like, yo, double me up. And because I got them for, I don't buy anything for vintage. When it comes to vintage, I'm pretty good at I buy things that are cheap. I don't buy things because they're awesome. You know what I mean? And I've worked out well, but dude, that place rules. They got this gluten-free banana bread, vegan gluten-free banana bread. That is fucking awesome, dude.
You celiac or something?
They don't know. They think I might have celiac.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. That's a new thing. So I've been laying off
Bummer.
the gluten.
Damn.
But I became a vegan. I started eating eggs, so technically I'm not a vegan anymore.
Right.
But I don't fuck with dairy. I don't fuck with meat. After I had the heart attack, I started eating.
Oh,
like
shit.
that.
I didn't know you had a heart attack.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. I had a heart attack.
Okay.
Didn't even
Wow.
know. It was wild.
You didn't even know?
No, it was wild.
How did that happen?
I don't know, dude. I felt weird, and I got acid reflux real bad. And then the next day, I looked all flushed out, and my parents were like, "Yo, you look crazy." And my mom took my blood pressure and was like, "There's 200 over 160 or something."
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
She's
scary.
like, "Hey, I think this thing's fucking broken. I'll pay for it. Let's just go to the emergency room." Because I was like, "I don't have fucking money to go to the ER." So I went to St. Luke's, and they're like, "Yeah, there's something going on here. We gotta."
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, I had no idea, dude.
Wow.
Ended up having to get 2 stents,
What?
fully blocked up. Yeah, just genetics, dude. Bad genetics.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, glad you're here, man.
Yeah. Thanks. It happens. I've been dealing with it.
Yeah.
Been dealing with the impending doom.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, so I've had all these other shits, and then it's now I have this weird thing where it's I freak out and think I'm having a heart attack, and I'm really not. It's just fucking.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
would too.
acid reflux that leads to a pain that makes me focus on that, and the next thing you know, I'm spiraling out of control into anxiety and
Yeah, which I'm sure probably makes it worse.
Yo, it makes it 100. That's the whole problem that
Yeah.
happens. But I've been getting it under. It's gotten a lot better than it was. And right after the heart attack, it was because I had no idea. Well, what does it feel like? What is it?
Yeah.
All the symptoms. If you look at the symptoms, who doesn't have these at my age?
Well, yeah, and isn't it because your left arm feels all weird, and then
Yeah.
like
Your
can't you
left side,
taste-
you could get numbness in your limbs.
Yeah, which I'm my left arm is always stuck, so I'm I would never probably know.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I have a herniated disc. I went to physical therapy this morning because they're trying to figure out what we can do because I have no feeling in my left leg from my knee
What?
down because of
Whoa.
this herniated disc, and I've had that for 5 years now.
Is that in your back?
Yeah,
Or-
lower back. But I have something going on in my middle back too that is and it's just from shitty posture or something as I'm sitting here sitting shit.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to I'm doing all these things with now to try to solve it. It's just weird, dude. Getting old's weird, man. Because I turned 40 last month, so it's fuck.
Damn.
I never really thought I'd make it. I mean, you seen me back in the day. We were talking, I've known you since before you were legal to drink. I'm
Yeah.
going to throw you out of the bar. So you saw me at my worst back then,
Yeah.
dude. That was the worst me.
Yeah, I
that's
mean, you
ever
probably
been.
saw me at my worst too, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, dude. I mean, getting old is. I mean, I just turned 29, and it feel like you're what? How? The last 10 years, it's what?
Oh, shit. That's not what we were trying to do.
Pulling something up.
No, my phone's just going nuts
Oh,
out because
okay.
I had a timer set.
Oh, okay, cool. Wait, has it been an hour?
No, I don't know how long
Oh.
it's been. We're good. I can spy it there. Oh, we're only at 52 minutes. We're good.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It goes by fast,
That-
dude. It's wild. It'll rip and roar on you. That's why I said Nico and I did 4 hours before where it's oh, shit, you don't even notice it. You're oh, god damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
All right, well, I got some other questions. So
All right, let's do
let's
it.
get into that. When did you start playing music?
Let's see. 15, 16, I think. Yeah. I remember my dad brought home like an acoustic guitar from a thrift store or something, and I was like, all right, cool, like trying to learn some stuff. I don't know. I think that was like 15 or so, and then yeah, it just kind of grew from there.
Now,
So,
when did Leisure Boys
um,
start?
okay, so Logan and Logan
Yep.
Matthews. He, I remember he had an electric guitar, so I had like this acoustic guitar. I remember going to his house, playing, and first time like playing with distortion, like everything's just like sounds crazy. It's like, oh cool, you can play one note and it sounds like this full, so you don't really even have to really know much.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm getting electric, and then and then immediately from there, I knew probably like three chords, and I was like, let's start a band. I feel like we learned like Gloria. It's three. It's
Yeah.
EDA,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then we had a show in my parents' basement. Although we at first we called it the Natives. I don't know why.
That's a sick name.
But yeah, we
Dude,
thought it
my
was
first
cool.
band was what were we called? Chavez.
Chavez.
Chavez E. Chavez. We named it after Lou Diamond Phillips' character from Young Guns.
Dope.
It was just a fun
That's a cool
band.
name, yeah.
And then, dude, I was in the Aristocrats. That was another band we had.
I like that name too. Nice.
Yeah, it was like Aristocrats,
Yeah.
but it was like a skull with a monocle and had like handcuffs hanging from it.
Dope.
I was in a band called the American Youth Report. That was like a oi-ish kind of punk rock band.
So that's 3 so far? Or
Yeah.
4?
What else was I in? Then I had the Savage Seven,
Okay, nice.
and that was the bigger one. That was the one that I like made the record, did all
Yeah.
the tour little, and
Yeah.
when the boys had the Bleach Bloods.
Yeah. Savage 7. That's a dope name too. Good names. Nice.
Oh yeah, I've always been aesthetically good. I'm a wordsmith. You know, I was doing
Yeah.
all the writing, and it's cool now because I can go back and like listen to Vinny from that used to be in the Conquerors.
Yeah.
So Vinny was in the band,
Sick.
and because they had Bleach Bloods at the time, and then
Uh-huh.
Rory was in. They had Wrong Crowd. Like, dude, all that shit was like we were all there was like a bajillion garage rock bands at that
Yeah.
time.
I feel like well, dude, so that's the thing like okay, so yeah, we started parents' basement. Had some fucking crazy shows in my parents' basement because we lived in this weird area where technically we were in Kansas City district,
Right.
but went to Lee Summit schools.
Right.
So the cops from Lee Summit couldn't come to my parents' house, and like so everyone in
And
Lee
then the
Summit,
Kansas City cops were
they didn't
like,
give a
they're
fuck.
like, we're not going. All the
Yeah,
way
we're
out
not going
there
out there.
for a house party.
Yeah.
Of a bunch of kids playing music. No.
Yeah. So they and this was I feel like senior year. I don't know, junior, senior year. I can't remember. But yeah, kids would have parties. They'd get busted in Lee Summit, and then so I was like, yeah, let's have a show in my parents' basement. My parents were just like, cool, you're doing something like they were like I was like blown away. I thought there'd be like 20 people there. There was like 150 kids there,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like going nuts. And
Yeah.
I remember like I thought my parents were gonna be so pissed.
Instead, they're just like, oh, it's nice that you're doing a thing.
They were like, that was really successful. That's awesome. Like, next time tell them not to leave their weed out on our kitchen table.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Next time, ask them not to break or steal anything.
yeah, well, no one broke or stole anything. Like, there's just, I remember one girl got drunk and like fell outside and like cut her leg open and had to get stitches. That's probably like
Yeah.
the worst thing
Oh,
that
that's
happened.
cool. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was like crazy. I was like, this is sweet. Like, I don't know. Then from there, then we, I think, I can't even remember when. I feel like Leisure Boys came about from whenever we had like, our little motorcycle crew, like with Thomas and Sam and Zach,
Yeah.
all those dudes. And one summer we were going on a bunch of trips, and then we passed a sign called Leisure Time, and
Mhm.
then I feel like Thomas might have said like Leisure Boys or something, and we called that trip like Highway to Blackout, or I feel like all that was like all on this motorcycle trip, and then I came back and I was like, let's like we're Leisure Boys, and like
Yeah.
I kind of just took all that from the
The trip that time. Yeah.
chopper trip thing,
Yeah.
and went from there. But yeah, that's kind of like how that all like I feel like that was all in like a couple summers. Then we did a show at Dave's Stagecoach that Jason uh, got us, and that was sick. I feel like that was from there. Then we played at Blind Tiger and
Yeah. Didn't you guys play at Fountain City once? Did you play
oh,
at
Fountain City. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Because he had that, used to have that mini ramp, and he would have people, the band set
Yeah,
up on
he
that.
actually
Eric.
he did. Yeah, he did. I got this actually. Oh yeah, I have a Leisure Boys tattoo that he did.
Oh, sick.
But
I see Eric
shout
at
out to
Micro
Shelby.
Center sometimes.
You what?
I see Eric at Micro Center.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's always doing like 3D printing with his like fishing rod shit now.
Oh what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
3D printing fishing rods.
Like he does like he makes like all kinds of like fishing shit, dude.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, because him and Wes, they've always been obsessed with like fishing shit.
Yeah.
So like now Eric was always making stuff, but he like 3D. He was showing me like he 3D prints all this wild shit. He's gonna come on the show at some
Sick.
point and
Okay.
talk about it. But he makes like he's been making like fishing rods. Like I don't know if he 3D prints those, but he like is manufacturing like fishing products now. Like he's
Sick.
deep in the fishing game.
Dude, the 3D printing shit is crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
I fuck with it. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother realm we can
Yeah,
get
that's
down.
a
That
whole-
and AI. I fuck
yeah.
with all that.
Yeah.
But so then you were doing that and you moved, but you would still come back to town and still play Leisure Boys shows.
Yeah, so I can't remember. Went to Minneapolis for 2 years. Like the first year for school, just because I had to go to school, but I was like really into snowboarding. That's how this shit all happened.
Yeah.
But so I was in Minneapolis, just snowboarding, coming back, playing shows like here and there in the summer, and then moved to Denver because Joe, yes, like one summer coming back playing shows, Joe was like, "Yo, come out to Denver. Thomas just moved out." He's like, "It's $375," and I was like, "What? That's cheaper than what I'm paying in Minneapolis." So
Yeah.
it's like, "All right, tight." Went out there.
Yeah, because when you were living there with Sam,
yeah,
I
yeah.
used to stop at the house
Mhm.
and I'd go get breakfast with Sam on my way to see my kid because she lived up in Cheyenne at the time. That's where she was
Oh.
living. That's where she's from.
Okay.
Is Cheyenne. So
Damn.
I used to roll by there, but it would just be quick. It would be in
Yeah.
the morning. Me and Sam would go eat like illegal Pete's burritos,
Yeah.
and then he would show me what he's working on in the garage. That's when he first built his Iron Head.
Dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was there right as he was getting ready to paint it, and you guys had all those bikes in that little shitty makeshift garage.
Dude.
And he's like, I was
That
like, how many
house.
people lived here? He's like, a lot. I'm like, that's crazy.
Dude, yeah, that house is crazy. So yeah, all those dudes moved out. The Leisure Boys moved in. Logan, Sam, and Logan's brother Ryan. And then, like any typical band living in a house together, falls apart. Which I would say, yeah, I was definitely doing, a lot of drugs and shit that
Yeah.
are, make your ego fucking crazy.
Bad drugs.
Yeah, so and so just and then me and one dude were doing a lot of bad drugs and two other dudes were doing like completely, different types of
Opposite
drugs.
Yeah, they were on like
And-
the psychedelic trip. You guys were on the uppers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that
Clashed.
heavily, and so then Leisure Boys split up. Sam and I started Wet Nights together, and which Sam just played. Sam started out playing bass, and then he moved back here, which like our friendship is remain, but there's like a point where kind of had to like kick him out of the band per se, because it.
Because he wasn't there.
Yeah, just well, it's
Also, if
it's
you
somewhat-
want what do you want to be, friends or bandmates? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you can't be both.
yeah, and
Do they both live back here now?
Sam lives here, Logan and Ryan live here, I think.
Yeah, so they're all back here now. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sam and I just did a show at
Hillsiders. Yeah.
where Sam was just playing drums. So, and we're like, I think, along with like the Wet Nights thing, not doing not trying to make it a like solo
band,
project,
yeah.
but not. Yeah, it's
a collective.
So yeah, it's kind of like so. I think it's gonna kind of form into like have like a Kansas City crew and then like a Denver crew and then hopefully in
You
New
can get an
York.
upstate New York crew.
Yeah, and I got a few
Dude,
friends
the best
in New York
advice
City
I
too.
can give you,
so.
Jasper, is just let everyone know. Just be honest with all the
Yeah.
musicians you're playing with, and then whatever. If you go up to New York, dude, and you find guys if you find another guy that's just down with the cause like you are, then that's the dude that needs to be a part of it. And if you find if you find the missing links and they all are down for the cause, then you just roll with how it goes. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's what I've like learned. Like Leisure Boys, I try to have way too much control, and then like when Wet Night started, it started out as like so there's there's drum machine mixed with real drums on every track, and like trying to just do I don't know.
Your
add
sound, whatever
something
you guys
different.
thought was like the appropriate thing to do. Right?
Yeah, and because at first I was like, fuck having any bandmates. Like I was like, Sam, we vibe, like we can, and
you can do a drum machine with two guys playing guitars and do it that way.
And then eventually a drummer joined, and then so this drummer Seth Stone, who now plays in this other band, like. He joined, and then this guy from New Orleans joined. His name's Root Beer Richie. And then COVID happened, all that. I was moved back here, and then Root Beer and Seth, that drummer, they started another project, Root Beer Richie and the Reveille, which caught on really fast, and they're doing like awesome.
Sick.
But which led to them leaving, like not having time for Wet Nights, which is
Right.
like fine. But so I went from trying to take too much control to then like having like no
Zero
control, just being
control.
like, what does everyone like fully democratic, and it just makes it really hard to get anything done. So then now I'm like trying to just do just a little bit
You're
of
Chuck
both.
Berry,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
You're
no,
like,
exactly. That's
for
what
sure.
I'm trying to
That's
do.
like the best example.
Yeah.
Like Chuck Berry. You're writing music. And
Let
then
people
you're
play
getting
what they want and stuff.
Right.
but,
Yeah. Like here's what
like-
I'm doing. But that's a cool thing
Yeah.
because like if I go see you live here, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna sound one way, but then if I see you in Denver, it might be something a little different.
exactly.
And that's kind of cool, you know.
Yeah, and probably we'll be playing completely different songs too. Like,
Well, dude, I really dig the music that I heard so far. Like I played
Hell
some
yeah.
on my live stream the other night.
Yeah. which
And
that was
I
fun.
dig, and it's cool. Like I like that I can do that because I tried playing some other shit and I got copyrighted for it. So I was like, oh shit. But it's like I was like I'll risk it. I don't think Jasper's got this copyrighted on here to where he's gonna like.
YouTube might be weird. Like,
It's weird,
It-
but it
yeah.
didn't do it. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
cool.
Like I was playing a pretty big band, but I
Okay,
was like,
yeah.
okay. But they're like I realized they're on a major label. I didn't realize
that's
that.
the
Anything
difference.
independent, I think I'm okay with. Because
Yeah.
I think most people would be like, oh, like you're just like
Yeah,
that one view.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Isn't
yeah.
killing us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I also try to I posted the links in the chat to your page. I posted
Okay,
the links
yeah.
to I put links out there to everything. Even I'll put your Spotify link in the
Tight.
and your YouTube link in the description of this video. I always do that, dude.
Sick.
I share the love. That's the whole point. People, that's the community thing, right? Like
yeah,
you got to share all the things so that everyone else can get turned on to the things you like. If I don't tell you, hey, this is, you have to tell people exactly, hit this thing,
Yeah.
and it will take you to Jasper's music.
Dude, it's so
It's
hard
bitchin'.
to.
That video you put out is cool, dude.
Thanks,
it's fucking
man.
really cool. I
Thank
really
you.
dig it, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that.
I'm glad you hit me up. I hadn't seen you in a long time. Nico, he even texted me. He's like 21. I was like, no, I've known him longer than that, dude. Like, I've known him a long time, Nico. Way longer than I knew you. I knew Jasper because also I was playing music at the time when I met you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we're that's just a different scene of people, you know.
Yeah.
And it's but Nico rules. He's
Nico
awesome.
does rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He rules. Most of those guys your age from Lee Summit are they're pretty chill dudes for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, it's a chill place.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird place, man. And
Yeah.
there's a couple times where Nico and them they try to convince me to move out there.
I
I'm
wouldn't.
like,
I wouldn't.
I mean, I've thought about it. It's not bad, but then it's like, man, I'm kind of like.
It's just far.
I'm a KCK dude,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
I know this place. It feels like home.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to operate. I know how to get around. I like the layout. I like where I'm at. It's easy to get
Dude,
anywhere.
This location is top notch.
Yeah, it's top
Yeah.
notch. It's easy.
Uh-huh.
It's a nice neighborhood. My kid can walk down the street. Like,
yeah.
but I'm also like, I'm surrounded by culture of different forms.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I dig. I got the neighbors over here are like poor white people. Over here, I got these crazy like Tibetan people, and then
Yeah.
I got like
It's fucking American.
I got some yeah, it's just America, dude. It's truly America, like right here. This is America.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're at what are we? Hour 10. That's fucking probably pretty good.
Let me just say
it.
Okay, go to follow Wet Nights Fan Club on Instagram or whatever. Go to the link, please. There's a new song coming out on January 1st called Half Tank. We spent like a whole year recording this song.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really proud of how it's like best sounding song we've done. But there's a pre-save, like going back to having people click links. It's fucking hard to get people just to like click shit, but it would mean a lot if you pre-saved on Spotify. If you just click that Spotify pre-save on Wet Nights Fan Club, it takes you right to Spotify and it automatically
hits the button for you.
Yeah, it'll.
Cool.
So you'll get it.
Yeah, dude.
That's
And
all you
I'll
gotta
put
do.
all those links.
Tight. Oh yeah. I'll send you. Or yeah, maybe we'll put the Spotify pre-save link in.
I'll put all the links.
Okay,
Dude, guys, go in the description. You can get the link to the Instagram, to the everything. Jasper broke the number one rule of. No, I'm just fucking with you, dude. I don't care. I break every rule. There's no rules. I'll put every link in there. Follow it. Follow him on Spotify. It's huge, dude. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow his YouTube. Like and subscribe on it. You guys got to realize, like, just by you doing that, it costs you nothing, but it like helps out tremendously because it turns us. It's just weird to explain, but it puts it in the system so other people will find it, and we appreciate it. We appreciate all of you, and thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Ciao. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and check out one of these other videos. We'll see you next time.